because he gave a report of what we're doing.
Okay. What I want to do, I just want to bring it back around because there's a lot of information there what people don't really, we're not really aware of, some detailed information. I want to bring it around to your thing about religion because I think even the other day we had some talk about Islam.
Yes,
So
as religion, my reading the Bible, I was able to get a clear idea of religion.
Right.
I was able then, after I started doing research on the Quran,
That's right. That's what I'm now.
I started doing research on Hinduism. I started then, because we have the West African cult, Orisha or Yoruba. I studied the Yoruba, I know all the ceremony and so on. I go into the depths of it because I think I study even Communion in
Jamaica.
Jamaica. I study in the Jokas in Suriname and so on.
Right.
And I call them the Bush Negro. So I had a clear idea in going to Ethiopia. And by reading the Bible from Genesis to Revelation and having an idea of all these different religious groups and literature, the Quran, the Bhagavad Gita, the Ramayana, the Vedas, Zoroaster, Egyptianology, and so on, as we see publication about the Egyptian pharaohs. I had a clear idea by reading the Bible. And I see that the Bible is the most comprehensive book that gives us an idea how man appears on the horizon, earth, and the ultimate end. I have studied all the prophets or leaders that come, and I view in Ethiopia we say Jesus Christus, in English we say Jesus Christ, the Messiah, or Emmanuel, is the most advanced to all personality, all being that came to earth.
Okay. Because question will be again from your studies, because you study all the religion and look at different kind of books like the Torah, the Quran, and everything. You would say that the Bible is probably the most
comprehensive.
At the order of them, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. I just want to get it from you.
Yes.
I want to bring it back around because I'm quite fascinated. Some of the things you're saying, I'm quite fascinated. About Marcus Garvey as well, and also about the Haile Selassie.
Yeah.
Well, first about Haile Selassie, have you met Haile Selassie?
Well, this is what I was telling you. That by virtue of that, when I arrived in Addis, it was the fasting period for Lent. Because Ethiopia, out of the 365 days, Ethiopian has more fasting than any other group.
Okay.
So it was the fasting period for what we call Lenten, leading up to the crucifixion of Christ. So His Majesty was out fasting, and many of them. But knowing that we are coming, he sent his second assistant secretary, private secretary, not secretary, private secretary, Abara Jimberi, to meet us at the railway station. And Jimberi had instruction to take us at Hotel Ichigi. It was the largest hotel at that time in Ethiopia, built by the Italian. And when His Majesty returned, the hotel was donated to Her Majesty Empress Menen. And she had a staff running it. A Greek was the manager of it, Papandera. So we had housed there by His Majesty. A driver, a car, and an interpreter was given to go around Addis, and a jeep to go to any country district.
Okay, so but did you meet him personally?
So as it gets, but here how I met him.
Okay.
He was out fasting.
Okay.
And by virtue of my time do not permit, my way of humility, I was able to make the assistant patriarch, the assistant of the church, leave. His Majesty instructed him to come and meet me 2 or 3 days after in Addis, and kept and welcomed me on behalf of His Majesty.
Right.
When the fasting was over and His Majesty returned to Addis, because he was out in the country, he arranged a welcome dinner in honor of present in Ethiopia. We had the British, the French, the Dutch, and all the foreign mission sat with His Majesty and the Crown Prince and them in a dinner. Then he arranged for us to meet with the head of the church, Abuna Basilius. We held 3 discussions with Abuna Basilius, and they said they cannot send persons with me back because we are a colony. And according to protocol, they should not of the United Nations, they should not interfere in the internal affair of another independent. So when the church head could not have get through, he transformed it to His Majesty. And we held 3 discussions with His Majesty, and he told us the same. So what they decided was to keep me in Ethiopia for a period of time, consecrate me as a religious head, and send me back. That would have taken some years. But before I left Trinidad, the night before, the people made me swear that I would not remain in Ethiopia more than a year. And I said, I cannot break my pledge. They would have to find some way to send. And present this way, transform me from the church to His Majesty. His Majesty showed me out point. I stressed in that way. I said, because they said, if they stay, they're going to write the people and state what happened. I said, no, you're writing the people. I should not be a truth breaker. I'm breaking my pledge, so they'll have to find me.
Let me ask you a question about, because I've heard that that he had like lions as pets and...
Yes, while telling you now, when I transfer His Majesty, his private secretary to follow work were there, first he start speaking through the follow in interpreting. But after a while, he transformed and we start speaking English because His Majesty was trained also in English and French. He was fluent. But he started off through an interpreter, and then he started speaking English to him. And he showed out point that they would not be able to send. He put me onto his hand of his Minister of Justice. And the Minister of Justice come with all legal documents to show me the United Nations, one independent country. So he turned to me, the private secretary, Minister of Justice. We wouldn't be able to send officially by the church nor the state. But if you have any way that you think you could get Ethiopian going to Trinidad without official affair, we were willing to assist you with it. I said yes. He said what? I said get out your passport, sufficient spending money. God blessed me going to land them in Trinidad. 2 days, they got out their passport.
Okay. So, but I mean, like I said, is the, I've heard that he said like lions as pets.
No, whilst I went there, there were 2 lion cubs were lying there, and he had a little dog, Lulu, was also in the palace. So he had, because the Lion of Judah, and his fine much of symbol he carries a lion.
Right.
You see, so they were lying because it was held at this guest room in the palace. And the dinner that was held on the palace grounds. So I met His Majesty 3 times in discussion with the dinner, and then he was about leaving to go to Cairo, Mtoto.
So let's be quite clear. You met him on 3
occasions discussing
and he definitely had lions.
The dinner.
Yeah, lions.
At the dinner they were not, but when they met at the palace.
Okay, good. It's quite interesting because I mean, you know, I think you're the only person I know on the planet here who can give a good detailed account of.
Well, you know, I tell many persons where I go. I am nobody. I am a servant, whatever name. But I'm the first person since slavery started that had the opportunity to go to Africa, especially Ethiopia, not in somebody's army or navy, on a specific mission, and write to His Majesty, personal discussion, meet in a social discussion. I have a clear idea, plus my way. If you view and you go around with me, I am in humility. I greet everybody. I have no discrimination.